Hi everybody, it is Dory. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my channel where I discuss everything weight loss surgery related, diet related, my husband and his military status related. I discuss a bunch of different things. So welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome to any new people who have come. My hair is a mess for some reason. I think because it's so cold out. You know, your hair gets all staticky. Mine is sticking up no matter what I do. Who cares, right? So anyhow, so welcome. Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Things have been busy around here in our house. Everyone just got finished with that horrible stomach bug virus. Everyone except for me. I am knocking on wood because mama can't be sick because I have to take care of everyone else. So Christmas for us was kind of crazy. That was the day that I was leaving to see my hubby in San Antonio at Lackland Air Force Base. He graduated basic military training with academic excellence and beast excellence. So my visit was great, and I'll get to that in a minute. So Christmas for us, I flew out that day, but when I woke up on Christmas, my 7-year-old son, Ethan, was extremely sick. Every time he would vomit, it would come out both ends. I was going crazy trying to get everything situated for when I left. He was sick the day before, as was another one of my children. And so between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I had done 15 loads of laundry, plus trying to just get everything situated and everything, like everything scheduled, and food and meal prep and all that for the time that I was gone away from my children. We have 4 children at home. Isabella is 10, Mariah is 9, Ethan is 7, and Victoria is 4. I also have 2 older children. My son is 28. His name is Daniel. He is married to his wife, January. They got married September 1st. And then I have a daughter, Sarah, and she is 24. And she was the one who helped out the bulk of the time while I was gone, which was great. So let me get back to my stats. I am 46 years old. I am 5'4" tall. I used to be 5'5". Somewhere along the way I lost an inch. And I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery on September 12th, 2016 with Dr. Darren Tischler in Hartford, Connecticut at Hartford Hospital. My highest ever recorded weight was 350 pounds. The day of surgery, I weighed 300.5. I have been fluctuating between 175 and 182 for the past, I would venture to say, 4 or 5 months is my guess. I don't really remember. The lowest I've seen is 169.6. I definitely want to have a goal of 160. Before I left to see my husband, I believe I weighed 180, around there, 181, 179, around there. I was in San Antonio, Texas. They have amazing food there. I had some of the food because of the surgery. I can't overindulge like I used to, so I'm thankful for that. So I came back. And today I weighed in at 179. So I didn't have any gain. I don't think I even had a loss. Maybe I just stayed the same, which is fine with me. I definitely had a lot of carbs that I don't normally eat. They have this place there called Lulu's. They had chicken fried steak, so I had a little bit of that. I had some French fries. I had some fried okra. And then that is home to the 3-pound cinnamon roll with icing. No joke, 3 pounds. But it actually was sad because we wasted a lot of food. We took food back with us in to-go things. And that 3-pound cinnamon roll at that place, my husband and I ate, no lie, like a piece this big. We dipped it. They gave it to us to go. We dipped it in the icing. It was heavenly, but it was just too much. We both do not eat like that at all. And so it was just too much. So we had a very little amount. We had went to a authentic Mexican restaurant right outside the base on Saturday, I believe. Maybe it was Friday. It was Friday evening. I don't remember, but in any event, maybe it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. It was delicious. So we had some leftover nachos, which we didn't even get to eat because the next day my husband ended up getting that stomach virus, and that was the day I was leaving to come home. So between that, we had a ton of the chicken fried steak left over, a ton of the fried okra. We threw it away. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I hate doing that. But we definitely talked after the fact and just resolved that from now on we're splitting meals. We're not going to over order, and we're not going to waste like that anymore. But we did have a great time while we were there. My husband, okay, so for anybody who's new, my husband is in the Air Force. He just finished his basic military training. He boarded a bus on Sunday bound for Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls, Texas. It is very cold up there. Thankfully, we are accustomed to the cold because we live in Western Massachusetts. And if you're wondering what that is a bunch of Christmas decorations that I am in the process of packing away for the year. But anyhow, so his weather is even colder than us here. But the funny thing is, while I was in San Antonio, their weather, which is, I'm told, not normal, there was a lot of rain while we were there, and there was a very cold temperatures. So much so that Friday, for his official graduation parade, we were frozen. I can't even imagine. When I tapped him out and hugged him, his face was frozen against my cheek. So it was cold. I mean, it was probably 25, 30 degrees, just cold. Now, here we are totally used to that because we live in Massachusetts, and that's just how it is today. It's 23 degrees out. We are totally used to it, but there were people at that parade. There was one girl, I felt so bad for her. She had a sundress on. No joke, a sundress. I don't know if she was from some other warmer climate and she just thought because she was in Texas it was going to be hot. I don't know what she was thinking. There was multiple people, but this one girl, I felt so bad for her. She spent her whole time in a building in the bathroom near a hand dryer. She was frozen. I can't even imagine. I had layers on. I had my winter coat. I had a hat. And I was frozen. So I can't even imagine what she felt like. And then there was other people who were there in 9-inch heels and mini skirts. And it was not a comfortable thing to watch. We were on bleachers. I couldn't really even see my husband, although some of the other moms and wives that are on a Facebook group with me took some pictures, so I was able to go through and find it. On Thursday when I first, I arrived on Wednesday, no, I arrived on Tuesday night, Christmas. So I had all of Wednesday available. I got up from the hotel, I checked out, and our very own wonderful woman of the community, Kristen, Astacia Louis Moss, her and her husband came and picked me up, and she actually allowed me to have her vehicle for the time that I was there, so I didn't have to rent one. How amazing is that? Now, I know it was a huge sacrifice. She has 3 teenagers, a husband, and 1 vehicle because she lent me hers, and I know that was a huge sacrifice. She is an amazing woman. I love her to death. She is more beautiful, more kind, just everything in person than you would even imagine. Her husband is amazing, hard worker, loves his family. Her kids are great. She has a son who is on a basketball team who is his gift. This kid can soar through the air. Yeah, it's amazing. So it was great to hang out with her. We went and talked. We have so much in common. We are going to be forever friends, forever. She is amazing. So I got to hang with her on Wednesday, and then Wednesday afternoon, I dropped her off, and then I proceeded to go to my husband's base, which was Lackland in San Antonio. So it was great. I checked into my hotel. I got an on-base hotel on purpose because I knew that my husband would have 1, maybe 2 days that he couldn't leave the base. But at least he could get permission and come back to my hotel. That's the way it works. Even though we're married, he needs permission from his MTIs to enter any hotel or anything on base. So that was great. It was great just to, as soon as he was done his Thursday, he had a airman's run, they call it, where it's actually our first time laying our eyes on our airmen as they run by in their flights. And then I saw him right away. He spotted me right away. There were 760 people who graduated. 760 from all the different flights for the Air Force. But he spotted me. He smiled. His big dimples when he ran by. It was great. And then he came back a second time, and I didn't see him. He was kind of on the other side of the flight, so I didn't get to see him. And then they have a coin ceremony, which was amazing, and I videotaped it on my YouTube, on my, sorry, not my YouTube, on my Facebook. I did it, I went live, and so it was great to hear them take their oath again, and also to hear them recite the Airman's Creed all together in sync. I love that. It's fun to watch them perform together in sync with the marching and the turning, and it was just something really amazing to see. If anybody is ever able to attend these things, whether it's a friend or family member in the Air Force, it is something definitely to see. It was an amazing, amazing time. So as soon as we were done the coin ceremony, of course, the first place we headed was to my hotel. Just to get time to talk. We really had, 8.5 weeks of sporadic talking. I didn't get to hear anything that he was feeling emotionally or otherwise during the time. I also was not able to hear, how things went or have my questions answered about the whole experience for him. So it was great. My husband and I are extremely close. We have an amazing marriage. He is my best friend. We are inseparable. He's just him. We are just one and the same. We are connected. Our hearts, even when I hugged him, like when I first hugged him, it was just so nice. It felt like our hearts just were in sync again. It's just weird. But anyways, I'll spare the the lovey-dovey comments. But it was nice. It was really nice. So he is on to tech school. Now he has his phone so we can talk all the time. We've talked every day, minutes, hours at a time, which has been great. And he is better. He's not sick anymore. He had the stomach flu, and then he boarded the bus Monday morning. By the time he arrived, he was better. And then, of course, Tuesday, which was yesterday, he was fine. So keep him in your prayers. He has a lot of studies to do. His classes do not start until January 15th. He has a lot of briefings and things of that nature to go through before his classes start. Today he is at something called Death by PowerPoint, which I'm sure somebody humorously called it. It is a day where he will be in a room all day long, eating a boxed lunch, no going to the DFAC. He instead will be listening to PowerPoint presentations for the whole day. So that's where that name comes from. So anyhow, let's see. I hope everybody has had a wonderful New Year so far. Let me have some coffee. I need some coffee. excuse me, I didn't do anything for the new year. I don't usually do anything for the new year. I'm a homebody and we don't usually go out. We have kids, we're young. We don't really get into that whole thing, but I'm sure one day when the kids are older and we are on our own and we want to go out and celebrate and stay up till midnight, we will. But this year I didn't do anything. So what else? Let's see. Got home. The kids, I had a lot of chores to do the first day I got home. My ear is finally starting to come out of the fog. I flew Christmas Day from Hartford, Connecticut to Baltimore, Washington, D.C. airport, and then from there to San Antonio. Did the same thing on the way home, but I didn't have to get off the plane in Baltimore. We picked people up, and then some got off, and then we went back to Connecticut. My ear got blocked on the flight from Baltimore to San Antonio on Christmas, and it stayed blocked the whole time that I was there. That was annoying because I couldn't hear out of this ear. So I purchased different products, Sudafed. Kristen took me and we got some of the real stuff. That only helped for some of the congestion, but didn't unblock my ear. I've tried everything. I got some other stuff, and then I ended up getting Advil, sinus, and something else. But what happened was, we're not supposed to take NSAIDs, but I was so desperate that I just have been taking them. But I didn't get the non-drowsy formula, so yesterday I took 2 naps on the couch, which is very unusual for me. 1, because I have the kids home, and 2, I just don't nap during the day. I just can't. I can't shut my mind off to really nap. So that kind of knocked me out. And so today I can feel it still a little bit, but I feel like it's getting better. Yeah. So I got home and, things didn't go as planned while I was in San Antonio as far as here at the house. My older daughter has some issues where she has anxiety and she gets upset and she gets angry and she takes out on the kids sometimes. And then my older son, who just got married, he was supposed to take the kids on Friday night and then changed it to Saturday afternoon to give my daughter a break. And then he was supposed to take them overnight from Saturday afternoon till late Sunday. So when they would come home, they would just go to bed, and then I would come home that night. He flaked. He was extremely selfish. He went to the casino instead, and so he did not get here until Saturday at 9 p.m. By that point, my daughter was so upset with him. She was just texting me, swearing up a storm. And then Sunday, more of the same. And so it was just not, I just knew I needed to get home. And so I was glad that my husband was leaving, I was coming home, and the trip went down in history and we accomplished what we needed to accomplish. And my husband is on his way to, graduating from tech school, and then he'll be home the middle of April. So yeah, that's really about it. This year I'm going to focus. I have a word, which for me, there's a couple of words. If I put my mind to it, right, and I think of a word, like, for instance, a spiritual word that our minister had told us. He had told us to think of a word for this year. Every year we go into the year with a slogan or a word. Last year, our theme, that's what it is, our theme for the year at church was, why can I not think of it? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I'm only a couple days into the new year and I forgot what last year's theme was. Oh my gosh, I can't even think of it. It begins with a D. I think it begins with a D. Oh my gosh. Anyways, this year it's the theme is Stronger Together. And so we each were thinking of a word, and there's a woman within our church who makes these bracelets, and she's going to engrave the word on a bracelet, and it's supposed to be a word that when you hear this word for your particular self, for your own personal self, it's a word that if you are going astray away from God, or you are not reading your Bible, or you're not focused spiritually, it's a word that has meaning to you, that will turn you around and go back. And so some people have the word love, joy, peace. Some people have determination. Some people have discipleship. Some people have whatever. So my word, my spiritual word, is sacrificed. And for me, that word, no matter how selfish I want to be, if I look down at my wrist, it's kind of like a tattoo. I'm going to get a tattoo. One day I'm working on it. It's going to say, she believed she could, so she did. That to me kind of puts together all that I have accomplished, and what I will continue to set out to do within my weight loss journey. And so my word, if I have my bracelet here, for instance, and I look down and I see sacrificed, that for me personally changes my mind back to Jesus because of what was sacrificed for me. And so that's my spiritual word, but my word, my like weight loss journey focus word for this year is going to be determined. And so that encompasses for me being determined to succeed, to be determined no matter what to get to my goal weight. And my goal weight is 160. If I get below 160, that's great. But my goal is to be down to 160. I want to be down to 160 and maintain it for 6 months. And then I would like to have skin removal surgery. I would like to have the Joni, as a few of us have called it. She went down to Mexico. That is Smile and Shrinking. If you guys don't follow her, definitely follow her. She's amazing. But she went down to Mexico and she had a Dr. Saceda, and she had skin removal surgery along with Kristen, which is Hasta Cielo y Mas, and Cookie Lucille, she is, so they all went down. There was a couple other people who went down to see him, and that is my goal. So my end goal is to have what Joni had, which is she had a tummy done, she had her breast done, I believe. She had the pull up from the bottom, I don't know, a bottom lift, I forget what you call it. I don't even know the technical names. I just know what I need to have done. A funny story from my trip. This is how I know what my problem areas are. I went through a machine at Hartford, Connecticut at their airport that you stand in the machine, you stand up, you put your arms up, you stand like this. There's a diagram. You stand really tall with your feet on this thing and they scan your body. And I haven't flown for 12 years. And so I didn't know about this machine or whatever. And so I step out of the machine and they're like, okay, you have to stand here. We need to pat you down. And I'm like, and so they show me on the TV screen behind me and they said, look, and they said, we're going to get a female over to pat you down. And so the areas of interest that triggered are funny to me because they are my problem areas with hanging skin. So it was right here and it was my inner thighs. And I thought that was so funny. So when the woman came over, she had blue gloves on and she just patted me down. I just said to her, I said, well, I lost about 170, 180 pounds. And those are my hanging skin areas that are like the worst. And so it was just funny. And so she, told me that was great. She was proud of me and proceeded to do her job. But I thought that was kind of funny. And then the other NSV that I had on the plane is on my Instagram, I believe I put it, but it was the belt. Now, I've never flown at my highest, so I've never had to have a seatbelt extender, but I have had to have the seatbelt pulled as far as it normally goes. But I had probably about this much extra belt that I didn't have to buckle. So I did Instagram that photo. That was great. There were tons of NSVs while I was there. My husband and I walked all over the base. We walked very fast, very briskly, especially through the rain on Sunday, the day that I left. I didn't get out of breath. My husband's dorm was on the 3rd floor. On Friday when we had the parade, they let you go to the dorms, and I got to see where he's been sleeping for 8.5 weeks, what his locker looks like, what his drawers, how they have to fold their uniforms, fold their socks, roll the socks, like all that. I was able to see everything, where they showered and just all the different things. And so that was great. I got to meet tons of his friends that he made within his flight, which was fantastic. I got to put some faces with names of their spouses, parents, grandparents, who I have been in communication with on the many Facebook pages. A shout out to the Air Force Wing Moms page. If anybody is in the Air Force in any capacity, look them up. It's a capital A, capital F, one word, and Wing Moms is together. So Wing Moms, one word. They are amazing. They have pages, whatever's doing this, that, on whatever flight you're going to be in, whatever tech school you're going to be at. They have tons of pages, and I would highly recommend that you guys go there. I have been supported so much, and so it was nice to put names and faces with the parents or the spouses that I've been communicating with for 8.5 weeks. And everyone goes by the last name, so I know some last names, some first names, but everybody's referred to by their last name. And so anyways, it was an overall great experience. Highly recommend if you have a chance to go to someone's graduation, coin ceremony, airman's run, or anything. And I will tell you the number one thing, my husband sat me down when we got there, when we went back to my hotel on base on Thursday, is he said he would have absolutely not been able to do it if it wasn't for my support back home. Like, he had a stack of letters, like, piled on top of each other that were this thick, of letters that I had sent him. 99% of the letters I sent him. I made sure that every day he would get a letter. Oh, I'm such a sap. But I wanted him to hear his name every day, no matter what. And so someday he got 1 letter, someday he got 4 letters. Everyone was jealous. I started writing to the other guys who weren't getting a lot of letters. There were some women who were not supportive of their husbands being there. One woman in particular, she was the wife, and she was not happy that he even joined. And so she was not supportive. So we made sure that we supported the ones that didn't have support. It's very, very important, especially when they're going through such a crazy thing as basic training. There's a lot of rules, a lot of regulations, a lot of things that they need to memorize, a lot of things that they need to accomplish. And so why make it more difficult on them? So in any event, that was that. So anyways, for the new year, I am looking forward to my husband coming home in April. I'm looking forward to reaching my goal of 160, preparing for weight loss surgery. I'm sorry, not weight loss surgery, skin removal surgery in Mexico. I am starting to bank money now because I don't know even if he takes insurance. Maybe my insurance pays for it, but I'm just going to assume I'm going to be self-pay. And so that is my New Year's goal for myself. I don't make resolutions. I just get things done. And so I am determined this year to do it, and I hope that you guys are too. I hope that you guys enjoyed my video without my minus my crying. And I hope to talk to you guys soon.